You, as you guys know, about moving to the Philippines. So a little background. I've been here about 8.5 years. I came here with a girlfriend. Sorry about the dogs. Quiet down. With a girlfriend. Stayed here for about a month. Decided she was crap. Um, I built my own little house. It was cheap. It was about 1,200 square feet. I literally built it for about $2,000. I leased a piece of land for $20 a month for 100 years with a I could get out of it clause. I booted her out, flew back to U.S. to take care of my business. After about 3 weeks I was here, flew back, took care of my business, came back here to just kick. Why am I? That's enough, you guys. Come on. And I met my wife, who wasn't my wife at the time, and we got to be good friends. I had to fly back and take care of some more business. While I was in the U.S., I literally sold everything I owned, everything. I sold my car. I actually gave my car away, my boat, all my stuff. I came here with one suitcase. Left everything in the U.S., came back here, asked my wife to marry me. We got married. Actually, her and her family picked me up at the airport, and I spent my first night with her, never having met her, which was wonderful. It was one of the best nights. And I went back one time for a week to clear up some more of my business, and I've never been back. And I've been here for over 8 years. Now that's me. Now I'm a traveler. I've been under a lot of countries and a lot of places. I lived on a sailboat a lot of years, and so I was kind of not the typical U.S. citizen when it comes to that. I do have a little Social Security coming in. I couldn't care less. I have a couple companies in the United States. I've discussed that before. Sorry about the dogs, guys. Somebody's on the property. Is not supposed to be here right now. All right, that's enough. Excuse me. Hey, that's enough. Anyway, my alarm system works really good. Nobody can sneak up to my house at night, I'll tell you, and even in broad daylight. Anyway, I'll never go back to the United States. I haven't been back once. And as I said, I have a small Social Security. It's little. And I get that every month. It's deposited in my U.S. bank into my United States. I have an address there. And I have a business here. And it's actually in the United States, but I work it here. Being a traveler, I lived in Mexico. I lived on some different islands in the Pacific Ocean and different places. And having the ability to do that made a big difference with coming to a foreign country. You know, I talk to people, my friends in the U.S., hey, why don't you guys come over here and stay? You know, they're my age or, a little older, a little younger. They're afraid. They're all so afraid because it's the unknown. And for me, the unknown was the best part of it all. I like the unknown. Hey, fully knock it off. Certain dogs make better alarm systems than others. And anyway, I was ready to be out of the country. I don't have any ties to the U.S. I have nothing there that makes it where I want to stay there. I have a son that I haven't seen in 20 years. He's 46, I think. Got a bunch of kids. I haven't even talked to him in probably 5 years. It's his choice. I don't care. It's up to him. I have a half brother who lives in Washington or Oregon. I talked to him maybe twice in the last 10 years. I don't care. I don't care about that family. My family's here. I love my wife and my stepdaughter. And I don't even want to call her stepdaughter. She's my daughter. And more of a daughter to me than my son ever will be or ever could be. But coming here is different. I mean, my lifestyle is basically, it's just like in the U.S. except more comfortable. I have a nice house with a lot of things. I built my house so that I don't have to go to resorts, like the tennis court and the golf course and the bar and the pool and I got everything that you could possibly want. so I don't literally have to go anywhere. We still go places, but I don't need to like go somewhere to get in the swimming pool. I've got a nice pool downstairs. And the neighborhood, couldn't ask for a better neighborhood. You know, we have a couple of people that are just total buttheads, as in any neighborhood, but in general, it's safe. I walk around, I don't now, but I used to recently. I caught a cold and then stopped walking, but I walked about 3 hours a day at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes with my dog, sometimes not with my dog. Did I ever feel not safe? Never, not one time. I've always been safe. My wife, my sister-in-law, by herself, walks around at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. You know, you just go for a walk because it's comfortable, it's cool. There's people sitting around at 3 o'clock in the morning drinking coffee and getting ready for their day, and they all know us and they all say hi, and they all know my dog. It's really funny. They know my dog's name, they don't know my name. And there's no danger. There's no, oh my God, I'm going to get mugged. I hear these guys and like Dumageddon. I keep going to Dumageddon because I watch their videos, and they're always saying how unsafe it is. Like, shit. If it's so unsafe, why would you want to live there? You know, and the other thing they talk about is they always bringing up, you know, how it's so similar to the United States. What the fuck? Why do you want to live where it's similar to the U.S.? Go back. There's my gorgeous wife over there. Say hi, gorgeous wife. Hi. You know, if you moved out of the United States, why would you move back to a place that's like the United States? I don't get it. I mean, I moved out of the United States and got as far away from that crap as I can. One of my friends asked me when I was back in the U.S. I said, never. I never will go. I'll die here. When I die here, I'm going to die here. That's it. I told my wife, grind me up, cook me in the pressure cooker, and feed me to my dogs. That's 200 pounds of extra meat. She laughed at me. I'm serious. And, you know, it's a bit more lawless. But the difference between the lawlessness here and the lawlessness in the U.S. is the lawlessness here. Oh, thanks. I love my family too. Can I say Timothy? I surely can, Timothy. The lawlessness difference between here and in the United States is you're a hard worker. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just work a lot of nights. That's really what I do. Anyway, what I'm saying is, sidetrack there. The lawlessness between here and the U.S. is it's nobody's got guns. I mean, you can have guns, but they don't like walk around the streets and going to try and shoot you or rob you. And maybe in the big city. You know, big cities are always the same. Manila, I'm sure. Baguio, probably, maybe. I've never had that issue. I've never seen anything like that, but it's possible. The worst, I got a little ripped off by a taxi driver one time in Manila, and we flat out got out of the taxi and told him to go fuck himself. We're not paying you. And nothing he could do because he knew I was right. But the lawlessness here is, it's little stupid things. Like we got a neighbor that doesn't keep their dog on a chain or behind a fence, which is the law here. Okay, well, I'm dealing with that in my own way. I have an airsoft pistol, and I told him I'd shoot the dog in the ass and he'll stop being bad. He's bit me twice already. And, no, that's kind of the lawlessness kind of shit we have around here. It's nothing that's not deal withable on a one-to-one basis, you know. They have a law here that says you're not supposed to swear in public. Well, fuck that. I swear wherever I want. And there's another law that says you can't drink beer if anybody can see you from the street. You can't sit in your yard and drink gin or beer if they can see you on the street. That's against the law. Is it enforced? They can enforce it. And I think it's because, you know, if you got 30 people and they're all wandering around your front yard and they're all drinking beer and being loud, maybe they'll enforce it. But loud here is karaoke. And they don't get in arguments where they're screaming at each other. At least I've never seen it. Not even one time. Everybody hears my life. The only fight I've ever seen since I've been here was 2 women. I was in the little city that's an hour where my daughter works, actually. And we saw a couple women doing a beat down to each other in the street. It was kind of funny. We're like, whoa, check that out. And I've never seen 2 men argue. Not since I've been here. Me, I argue with the Filipinos. They've got my two neighbors that, are dicks. But even that's, it's calm. We make up after a year, 2 years, whatever. But this is a safe place. As far as, can you just move here and, come from the United States and just move here? Yeah, I did. You can, if you have the ability to change your lifestyle. And change your lifestyle means, first of all, you got to get used to nothing costs as much. I mean, we were looking at eggs yesterday. It was 30 eggs for about $4. There's a change in lifestyle. Gasoline, I think, is more expensive here than California. Vegetables, you buy fresh every day. You don't buy like frozen vegetables. Oh God, that would be gross. We buy fresh vegetables every day. Fresh fruit every day. We bought a watermelon yesterday, which I didn't get any of yesterday. That new watermelon. My wife's really good about giving me fruit. The chain. The other thing you have to get used to is the lines to do things like pay bills. If you want to pay like your electric bill, yesterday we paid the electric bill. It took about an hour standing in line. They don't have a way you can pay it online, or if they do, we don't know what it is. You can buy, like the internet. We can pay that online. It's no big deal. It's quick. The biggest problem is the electric bill. And they give you the bill, then they give you 3 days to pay it, and then they charge you a late fee. Now, the late fee is only like $5. But boy, my wife has a fit about that $5. She will stand in line for 3 hours to get out of paying the $5. I'm like, I don't care. Who cares? The other thing, if you're a man, the best way, so I'm going to preface this a little bit. Yesterday I met a guy, American guy, and his Philippine wife. He's been here for 20 years. He lives in a city that's fairly close to us, about 45 minutes away, I guess. And we were talking back and forth, and I said, I don't have any money on me. I don't have a wallet on me. He goes, me either. I said, really? How long have you been here? He says, 20 years. I said, that's interesting. And I go, I don't own anything here either. My house, the cars, the motorcycles, they're all in my wife's name. He goes, me too. I go, why is that? He goes, why do I want to deal with it? Because I don't need to deal with any of that crap. My wife takes care of all of it. I don't need money. I'm with my wife all the time. And this goes back to one of my videos that I did the other day. I'm the same. I don't keep money on me. I don't have my wallet. Right now, nothing. I actually have a hole in my pants. I don't pay the bills. All the vehicles that are owned in our family are owned by my wife. The property is owned by my wife. Actually, I think we gave it to my daughter. It's not even hers. And all of the problems that I hear with the Americans, the Canadians, people from England, wherever, it's all the same problem. They don't trust their wives. Why would you marry somebody and plan on spending your life with them if you don't trust them? What are they going to do, take your money and give it to somebody? What? I can't even relate to my wife doing something like that. She loves me. She takes care of me. If your wife, or your spouse, I should say, dogs, or your spouse, if you can't trust them, why in the hell would you be married to them? I don't get it. I trust my wife with everything. I don't even think about it. If I want something from the grocery store, candy. I am a candy fanatic. I'll say, honey, pick me up this, and this. I go and look in our little snack bag. We have a snack bag in the bedroom. It's there. I don't have to think about it. I know that it's going to be in the bag. If I want some kind of fruit and I say, honey, can you pick up this? I know the next time I go to the refrigerator, it's in the refrigerator. She shops for vegetables and fruit and fresh meat every day. We have a freezer. It's got stuff in it. We have a refrigerator that I just actually asked my wife to go through and clean out because it's got, the best stuff is in the front. The next best stuff's the next best stuff. And by the time you get to the back, the food's moldy and old, I say, go through it, throw all the old shit away. But she's like everybody else. Americans, It's not Filipino, it's everybody. Americans, we did the same thing. My mom used to put the good stuff at that day in the front, and all the bad stuff was in the back, so nothing got rotated up, you know. And the other thing that they do here, my wife religiously goes through the food, and if the expiration date is 1 day past, she throws it away. I'm like, wow. They don't get the idea that the expiration date is a best buy, not an expired buy. You know, it doesn't, that's just the company that canned it is saying that they guarantee that it's going to taste the best to that day. And I keep telling her, really, it's for the grocery stores so that they have to keep buying fresh vegetables and stuff, fresh canned foods from the company so that the company gets to sell new stuff. They rotate it. She's starting to learn, but 8 years and she still hasn't. So yeah, that's not going to ever happen. It's okay. I don't care. It's a minor thing to me. But yeah, you know, anybody can move to the Philippines. You just have to change your way of thinking a little bit. You don't have to change a lot because, like I said, my life here is basically the same as when it was in the United States, except a lot more laid back. I have a lot of dogs, which I didn't have in the U.S., only because I didn't own property that I could support the dogs. Well, I did in Arkansas, but mostly I didn't have the room. Now we have 12 dogs. I'd have 20 dogs. You know, I really would. I love my little animals. They're like my little buddies. I have 3 of them that sleep in my bed every night, and, you know, they're great. It's a very laid back, like right now, I'm sitting in this is what I consider my coffee room, and you can see I got the view outside and, you know, my air rifle and stuff. But yeah, I'm just kicking here, you know, I'm not really, you see the merry-go-round in the background. You can, you don't have to always have that stress that you have in the United States. You know, you get up in the morning in the U.S., you drink a cup of coffee, and you're looking at your watch. You're looking at your watch. You're looking at your watch. Like, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. I'm not here. You can live here comfortably, and I would say very comfortably, on about probably $2,000 a month. You can live here on less, $1,500 a month. I have some friends that's all they make. You're not going to live the lavish lifestyle, and $2,000 a month, you can live pretty well. You just have to be careful. You know, you can't go to the bars every night because well, we don't really have bars here. In the barangays, like where I live in the provinces, there's no bar. Well, you can find a couple places to drink beer, but they're really barbecue joints. They're not like beer places. We don't have bars here. We don't have places like to go out at night and dance like you do like at the Hilton Hotel or something in the U.S. In Manila, yeah, in Baguio, yeah, but in the provinces, no. It's if you relate it to like 55 era, relate to that's the lifestyle, the people here, their attitudes, their neighborhoody stuff, you know, the way they take care of the neighborhood, the way they take care of, you know, the kids and stuff. I think 1950, 55, something like that. The only difference is we have modern technology. We have new cars. You know, there's no old cars here. That's another weird thing. If you find a 10-year-old car, that's like an antique. There's no old cars. I've seen maybe 10 since I've been in the Philippines. Old cars like 55 Chevys and stuff. But it's not like living in the U.S., guys. This is a way kick lifestyle. If you want to retire here, if you don't like that busy shit in the United States, pack your bag, come here. Don't move to a place like Dumaguete. I mean, if you want to go and, you know, screw the 25-year-old women in your 70s, go for it. You know, you're going to burn out on it and get ripped off. There's a lot of Americans and Canadians and Europeans. They go there, they pull that, they end up broke and destitute and trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Stupid people. You get what you get, you know. You're going to be that fucking stupid. You get what you fucking deserve. Mad Matt. Watch his channel. He's worse than I am, if that's possible. He tells it just like me. You know, here it is. This is it. So he's the only channel that I actually do any kind of promoting to, and he doesn't even know. But It's called Mad Matt, Matt. You might watch him a little bit. You may like him. I didn't like him at first. I didn't like watching him. He's kind of an asshole, but no more than I am, I guess. But it's it's an easy way to live here. You can rent a house for $150 a month, and I don't care what anybody says. I watch these idiots on the internet, and they're doing the oh, you can't live you can't live there for $150 a month. Yeah, you can. There's a guy right down the street. I know two houses that you can rent here for $150 a month. They're nice. One of them's 3 bedrooms. One of them's 2 bedrooms. Nice little houses. They're not brand new homes. They have both need some stuff. And if you move into a house that needs, say, an air conditioner, go buy one. It's $100. I just bought a 1.5-ton window air conditioner for $100, brand new, Carrier. Just because the one in the room upstairs isn't big enough, it doesn't really cool the room. It chills it a little bit. No, I want to get it colder. If it's got a broken window, you can ask the owner to do it. He's just going to look at you and go, leave it. Change the window. It costs you, $25-$30. Who cares? The internet here is, I don't know. It's good. I'm a U.S. phone. I'm in the Philippines. I'm using Metro PCS. And I just use Wi-Fi calling, and I have no problem with it. I stream all the time. So that's not a bad thing. My gun fell down. I gotta fix it. Television sets, electronics. I honestly think we're ahead of the U.S. People say, no, we're not. We're baloney. I mean, you could buy now I just saw 110-inch flat screen. It's an amazing TV. The whole television is less than 1/4 of an inch thick. It's like a sheet of glass. It's about $800. I don't even know in the United States where you can buy. It's $700 where you can buy a television that big for $700. I don't think you can. And they repair stuff. I've had some very high dollar equipment fixed here for nothing really. I had some speakers that I paid about $300 a piece for them, and one of them stopped working. I took it and they fixed it. It cost me $5, and they delivered it to my house. It was great. Air conditioning, you can have them fixed. Fans, you can have a fan. You can go take your fan. If it stops working, they'll go rewind it or fix it if it's humanly possible. We have these things called junk shops around. Junk shops sell things like fan blades. Scrap metal. If you need like a certain kind of iron, you could buy iron from a junkyard. Instead of buying it new, sometimes sometimes we'll use like plate steel that's 1/4 inch thick or something. That's hard to find in like the hardware stores. So we go to the junk shop where they're scrapping, iron and shit, and we can pick it up there. And you buy it by the pound, and it's 30 cents a pound, 20 cents a pound, 10 cents a pound. I don't know, it's cheap. So sometimes we do that. And there's a lot of Japanese surplus stores here. There's 3 in the city right here where we live. And they sell stuff that's surplus from Japan. Chairs, furniture, silverware, dolls, all kinds of bizarre shit. And we go in those sometimes just because you can get stuff that you can't get anywhere else. Drugs from the pharmacy. I would say you can buy anything in the pharmacy here without a prescription. That would be my opinion. You just have to find the right pharmacy. The pharmacies that are in the mall, the big ones, Watson's, for instance, no, you got to have a prescription. But you can go to the local ones that are in the small towns. And if you're nice to the pharmacist, there's usually an 18-year-old girl who's not a pharmacist, just a girl working there. There's a pharmacist attached somewhere. You can pretty much buy anything. And you just have to be sweet, be nice. I mean, I don't know. They don't sell any Valium or anything like that in most of the pharmacies. You can get it in the big ones like the pharmacists in the mall. But the little pharmacies, they don't carry stuff like that. They just carry, antibiotics and, shit like that. Mild painkillers, stomach upset medicine. But you can get anything, even if you're supposed to have a prescription, you could probably get it in most of the little pharmacies. They pump your gas. You don't pump gas here. They pump your gas. They don't check your oil. I don't think they know how, but they always wash your window if you want them to. They don't expect anything, you know. It's like I said, it's like being in the 50s, you know, where you pull into a gas station and they check your oil and they wash your window and they fill your gas tank, and then they politely say it's this much money, and they say thank you, and everybody says thank you. Everybody says please. Everybody is very polite, you know, which makes it that much better to live here. Anyway, I guess I will zoom off the phone. It's been 25 minutes. This has been a pretty long one. Guys, share, subscribe, watch to the end, blah, blah, blah. I'm eventually going to get remonetized. I got kicked off for stupidity. I said reuse of my own content. I guess it was like 3 years ago, but I guess I was reposting my own videos. I guess. I don't know. I looked all my videos. I can't find anything where it says I did that, but I guess I did. I don't know. Anyhow, if there's anything, you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Send me a note. Whatever. I'm gonna put a note in the next video that I make to subscribe to my wife's channel. She's trying to get monetized, and she's got a really cute channel. She does mostly animals and pretty things. Her hamsters are a big part of her life, and our dogs, you know, the typical stuff. But her channel is really cute. So, all right, guys, I'm going. Have a good day. Enjoy life. And if you decide to come to the Philippines, just come with an open mind and be happy. And I'm gone. Adios.